and recognize Ms. Scanlon for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Director, for your testimony here today. The ranking member mentioned that every single day 120 Americans are shot and killed, and more than 200 are wounded with gunfire. Those numbers aren't statistics. Every one is an American with a family and neighbors and friends. Yesterday morning at 8:30 a.m., a gunman killed 2 people and injured 3 others at a small family-owned business in Chester, Pennsylvania, right down the street from my office. 5 people were shot. Their coworkers and community were traumatized just for showing up at work in the morning. This unrelenting, unnecessary daily toll of gun violence is hitting families in every corner of every community across our country. Yesterday, it happened in Chester, a post-industrial city that straddles Interstate 95, which is known in law enforcement as the Iron Pipeline, because it's the route that gun traffickers regularly use to smuggle weapons from states with weak gun laws to states with stricter ones. The senseless violence is outrageous, but it's not inevitable. There are things we can do. This violence is enabled by lawmakers who choose to do nothing, who block legislation in the wake of tragedy after tragedy, while the American people are crying out for real action. Whenever Democrats try to explore how Congress can act to stem this uniquely American carnage, our Republican colleagues say the solution is to enforce the laws that are already on the books. But here we are once again in a hearing in which Republicans are attacking ATF, the law enforcement agency charged with primary responsibility for enforcing gun safety laws across our country. And it comes while our Republican colleagues have bills to abolish ATF and have succeeded in getting cuts to its budget. So, Director Dettelbach, I want to turn our focus to what might be real solutions and your agency's role in helping to implement them. You spoke in your testimony about a 1,000% increase in ghost guns linked to crimes over the past 5 years. Whenever I speak to our local law enforcement, including last night, they talk to me about how worried they are about the rapid proliferation of ghost guns. Ghost gun recoveries increased by over 400% in Philadelphia between 2019 and 2021. Our Delaware County Police busted a gun trafficker who was building and testing ghost guns in an apartment across the street from our county courthouse. And our Montgomery County Police recently busted a whole ghost gun trafficking ring. These fully functioning, untraceable firearms can be bought without a background check. They can be ordered online and in less than an hour become a firearm as deadly as any sold by a gun dealer. And that's why they've become, as you noted, the weapon of choice for people who might be otherwise barred from purchasing a gun, for criminals. So, am I correct that ghost guns look like regular guns and shoot like regular guns and kill like regular guns?
You are.
Okay. Now, can you explain why they're posing such a danger to the American public and why ATF determined it was necessary to issue a rule amending the definition of framer receiver to ensure that ghost guns are treated like other equally lethal firearms under our laws?
Congresswoman, the reason is, as you said, under our laws. Under the Gun Control Act, Congress specifically provided that items that were readily convertible to being operable firearms should be treated as firearms. The market was out there producing items that were readily convertible, and they were being sold without background checks. I did myself. I took one of these kits and put the gun together. My spouse will tell you not that handy around the house, but it was very easy for me to make a firearm, take it to the range, and fire it. These are firearms that shoot and wound and kill like firearms that are sold in the traditional manner. Congress anticipated that problem. The market changed, and we issued a rule to make sure that Congress's statute was appropriately enforced.
And we appreciate that, given the constant innovation that we see from gun manufacturers and those who seek to evade the existing laws. If we were to wait for Congress to catch up all the time, we'd be in a lot of trouble. Chairman, I would ask unanimous consent to enter into the record a letter from ATF's Acting Deputy Assistant Director for Public and Governmental Affairs in which he responded to your letter regarding the execution of the search warrant on Mr. Malinowski's residence and about ATF's compliance with DOJ's body-worn camera policy.
objection.
Okay, just so you're aware of which letter it is, it's the one May 21st that responded to your request, which you referenced earlier.
Without objection.
Thank you, and it discusses the funding necessary.
Got it.
Got it. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back.